You paid six figures for the toughest truck on the planet, and it might be a ticking time bomb sitting in your driveway right now. Ford's most expensive trucks are failing at an alarming rate, and the recall crisis of 2026 is threatening to bring down the entire empire. Stay right here, because what you're about to hear could save you thousands of dollars. The promise Ford made you. Let's set the scene. It's 2026. Ford's F-Series and Super Duty lineup are still the best-selling trucks in America, a title they've held for over 4 decades straight. 40 years in a row. That's not luck. That's a brand that built a covenant with the American buyer. A promise that if you work hard, Ford will work harder. But these aren't budget vehicles anymore. We're talking about platinum and limited trims pushing close to, and in many cases well past, the $100,000 mark. These are supposed to be the pinnacle of American truck engineering, the absolute best Ford has to offer. Heated and ventilated massaging seats, panoramic moonroofs, 360-degree camera systems, a 29-speaker Bang & Olufsen sound system. Ford wasn't just building trucks anymore. They were building statements. They wanted the buyer who demands capability and luxury, the contractor who also wants to feel like they're sitting in a Range Rover. And for a while, it worked. Premium buyers were lining up. Dealerships couldn't keep them in stock. Ford's profit margins on these top-tier trims were extraordinary, some of the highest in the entire automotive industry. But something has gone catastrophically wrong, and the cracks are no longer hidden. The recall wave nobody saw coming. In 2026, Ford has been hit with a surge of recalls unlike anything the company has seen in recent memory. And we are not talking about a loose trim piece or a faulty cup holder sensor. We are talking about critical mechanical failures, engine defects, drivetrain breakdowns, and in some documented cases, fire risks, on trucks that some buyers drove off the lot just weeks earlier. Now, recalls happen. Every manufacturer deals with them. Toyota, GM, Ram. Nobody is immune. But what makes this situation a genuine crisis is 3 things: the scale, the severity, and the price point of the vehicles involved. When a budget economy car gets recalled, it's frustrating. When a $95,000 flagship work truck gets recalled for a defect that could cause an engine fire or a complete drivetrain failure, that is a catastrophe. That is a brand-defining moment, and not in a good way. Think about who actually buys these trucks: contractors, business owners, ranchers, farmers, people who depend on these vehicles every single day to run their entire operation. A truck sitting in a dealership service bay for 3 months isn't just an inconvenience. It is a direct hit to someone's livelihood, their income, their business. Ford has issued recalls affecting hundreds of thousands of units across their premium truck lineup in 2026 alone. The warranty claims are piling up, the repair costs are spiraling out of control, and the financial damage to Ford's bottom line is being measured in the billions. So how did we get here? The rush that broke everything. To understand why these trucks are failing, you have to understand the pressure Ford was operating under. The luxury truck market exploded. Ram came in hard with the TRX. GM fired back with the Sierra Denali Ultimate. Suddenly, the truck segment wasn't just about capability, it was about prestige. And Ford, sitting on top of the market, felt the heat. So they loaded the Platinum and Limited Super Duty trims with technology. Lots of it. Fast. And that word, fast, is where everything starts to fall apart. The software systems controlling everything from transmission shift logic to adaptive suspension to integrated towing assist were developed on an aggressive, compressed timeline. Ford was under enormous internal pressure to get these features to market before competitors could respond. And when you rush software development on a platform as complex as a heavy-duty truck, you create vulnerabilities that don't show up in controlled testing environments. They show up 6 months later when a contractor in Texas is hauling a 20,000-pound trailer up a mountain grade in 100-degree heat. The software glitches being reported by Platinum and Limited owners are not minor bugs. We're talking about transmission control modules that misread load data and cause the truck to downshift violently at highway speeds. We're talking about integrated systems that generate heat levels. The hardware was never designed to handle under sustained real-world stress. Internal sources and industry analysts have pointed to a culture at Ford during this development cycle where the pressure to launch new features consistently outpaced the time required for rigorous real-world testing. The standard validation process for a heavy-duty drivetrain component can take 18 to 24 months of stress testing. There is strong evidence that some of these systems were pushed through on significantly compressed timelines. The result? Trucks that perform beautifully during a 30-minute test drive on a smooth highway, and then begin showing serious mechanical stress after 6 months of actual use. The electrification gamble. Here's the layer of this story that most people aren't talking about, and it might be the most important one. Ford made a bold decision to push hybrid powertrains into the Super Duty lineup. Visionary on paper, potentially catastrophic in execution. Bolting a hybrid system onto a platform that was originally engineered around a pure internal combustion drivetrain creates stress points that are incredibly difficult to predict. The battery management systems, the regenerative braking integration, the electric motor assist under heavy load. All of these add layers of complexity, and complexity, when it's rushed, creates failure points. The electrical conflicts between the hybrid integration systems and the mechanical drivetrain components are generating heat and stress that the hardware simply was not designed to absorb. Not under the kind of punishment that Super Duty buyers put their trucks through every single day. And here's what makes this particularly brutal. These aren't the kind of defects you can patch with a software update pushed over the air. Some of these are physical hardware failures, cracked components, overheated systems, structural stress fractures in parts that were never meant to carry this kind of load. In the most serious cases, fire risks, the kind that trigger the highest priority safety recalls Ford can issue. This is not a small problem. This is a systemic failure that runs from the engineering floor all the way up to the executive suite, and the people paying the price are the buyers who trusted the brand. If you're finding this information helpful, take 1 second to hit that like button and subscribe to help us reach 100,000 subscribers. Appreciate your support. The billions Ford is bleeding. Let's talk money, because the financial fallout from this recall crisis is absolutely staggering. Every time Ford issues a recall, they are legally and financially responsible for covering the full cost of the repair. On a budget vehicle, that might mean replacing a $40 sensor. On a $95,000 Super Duty Platinum with a complex hybrid drivetrain, a single warranty repair can run into the thousands of dollars per vehicle. Multiply that by hundreds of thousands of affected units. Do that math. You start to understand why analysts are estimating Ford's total financial exposure from this recall wave in the billions of dollars. And that's just the direct repair cost. The indirect costs are arguably even more damaging. Resale values on the affected trim levels have taken a significant and sustained hit. The used truck market is brutally efficient at pricing and risk, and right now, the market is pricing in a massive amount of risk on late-model Ford Super Duty Platinum and Limited trucks. Owners who bought these vehicles as investments, or who plan to trade them in after 2 or 3 years, are watching their equity evaporate in real time. A truck that was worth $85,000 on the used market 18 months ago is now struggling to hold $65,000. That's a $20,000 loss that nobody budgeted for. And Ford's competitors are not standing still while this is happening. Ram is aggressively marketing the reliability and refinement of their heavy-duty lineup. GM's Sierra and Silverado HD trucks are picking up conquest buyers, people who were loyal Ford customers for years but are now walking into Chevy and Ram dealerships because they simply don't trust what they're seeing. Market share data from 2026 shows real movement in the heavy-duty segment, movement that Ford cannot afford to ignore. The brand promise is breaking. Built Ford Tough. 4 words. The most powerful slogan in truck history. It's not just marketing, it's a covenant. You pay a premium, you get a truck that works harder and lasts longer than anything else on the road. When that covenant breaks, when the truck that's supposed to be the toughest is the one sitting in the shop, the brand damage goes far beyond the cost of any recall. It goes to the core identity of what Ford is supposed to represent. And this is what keeps Ford executives up at night. Because you can fix a mechanical defect, you can replace a faulty component, you can issue a software patch, but rebuilding trust with a buyer who spent 6 figures on a truck that failed them, that is a years-long process, maybe longer. The premium truck segment is one of the highest margin categories in the entire automotive industry. These are the vehicles that fund Ford's R&D, their electrification push, their entire corporate strategy going forward. Losing ground here doesn't just hurt this quarter's earnings. It threatens the financial foundation that Ford's entire future is built on. The Built Ford Tough promise is cracking. And every day this crisis continues, the crack gets wider. The dealership deadlock. Here's the part of this story that doesn't get enough attention, and it's the part that is making everyday Ford owners absolutely furious. Even when Ford issues a recall and acknowledges the problem, Actually getting your truck fixed is a nightmare of its own. The part supply chain for these high-end trim levels is not built for mass recall volume. The Platinum and Limited Super Duty trucks use specialized components, proprietary hybrid system parts, custom-engineered transmission components, trim-specific electronic modules that are not sitting in warehouses in large quantities. They're manufactured in relatively small batches because, under normal circumstances, you don't need thousands of them at once. Under recall conditions, you need tens of thousands of them immediately. The result is a massive backlog. Owners who bring their trucks in for recall service are being told wait times of 2, 3, sometimes 4 months before the parts will even be available. In the meantime, Ford's policy on loaner vehicles and rental reimbursement has been inconsistent at best, leaving premium buyers without reliable transportation for months at a time. And the tension between Ford's corporate office and the dealer network is real and growing. Dealers are on the front lines of this crisis. They're the ones looking customers in the eye and explaining why their brand new truck is going to sit in a service bay for the next 90 days. They're absorbing the customer anger that should be directed at manufacturing decisions made hundreds of miles away in Dearborn, Michigan. Some dealers have described the communication from Ford corporate as slow, unclear, and deeply insufficient for managing the volume of affected vehicles hitting their service departments all at once. The lemon law explosion. And this one is costing Ford in a very direct, very painful way. In most US states, if a vehicle has been in the shop for a certain number of days or has had a certain number of repair attempts for the same defect without resolution, the owner is legally entitled to a full buyback. Ford is being forced to repurchase some of their most expensive trucks at or near the original purchase price because the repairs simply cannot be completed within the legal time frame. Think about that for a second. Ford sells a $95,000 truck. The truck fails, the parts aren't available, the repair drags past the legal threshold. Ford buys the truck back for $90,000 and then has to resell it as a used vehicle at a loss. Every single lemon law buyback is a direct financial hit, and beyond the money, each buyback represents a customer who is almost certainly never buying a Ford again. Ever. That's not just a lost sale. That's a lost lifetime customer relationship. And in the truck market, where brand loyalty runs incredibly deep, that loss compounds over decades. The lemon law buyback numbers in 2026 are climbing, and Ford's legal and finance teams are scrambling to manage the exposure. Ford's emergency response. Ford's leadership has not been silent. To their credit, they have not tried to minimize or hide from this crisis. In 2026, the company announced what they're calling an emergency quality overhaul, a top-to-bottom review of the manufacturing and validation processes for their entire Super Duty lineup. The CEO has made public commitments to slow down the feature launch cadence, extend real-world testing timelines, and invest heavily in quality control infrastructure at the key assembly plants. On paper, this is exactly the right response. Acknowledge the problem, own it publicly, commit to fixing it structurally, not just symptomatically. But here's the hard truth that every Ford buyer needs to hear. Announcements are not results. Press releases don't fix trucks. And the premium buyer who just got burned on a six-figure purchase is not going to be won back by a carefully worded corporate statement. They're going to be won back by trucks that work, trucks that don't fail, trucks that earn back the Built Ford Tough name through performance, not marketing. The verdict. What happens next? The timeline pressure on Ford right now is intense. The 2027 model year Super Duty is already deep in its development cycle. If Ford cannot demonstrate measurable real-world quality improvements in that model year, if the 2027 trucks come out and the same failure patterns begin to emerge, the damage to the brand could become genuinely irreversible in the premium segment. And here's the direct verdict for anyone watching this who is currently in the market for a premium truck. If you are looking at a 2025 or 2026 Ford Super Duty Platinum or Limited right now, whether new or used, you need to do your homework before you sign anything. Check the NHTSA recall database. Get the specific VIN checked for every open recall. Ask the dealer directly about repair timelines and parts availability. And if you're buying used, factor the current resale trajectory into your offer price aggressively. If you can wait, wait. The quality-first pivot that Ford is promising could genuinely produce better trucks in the 2027 model year. But that is a promise, not a guarantee. And right now, the evidence on the ground suggests Ford still has significant, serious work to do before they can honestly say their most expensive trucks are also their most reliable trucks. The F-Series legacy is one of the most powerful brand stories in automotive history. 40-plus years as America's best-selling vehicle. That doesn't disappear overnight, but it can be seriously, permanently damaged by a sustained quality crisis at the very top of the lineup. Ford knows exactly what's at stake. The entire empire is on the line. The question is whether they can execute fast enough and honestly enough to save it. Ford built an empire on toughness, but right now, that empire is cracking. Billions lost, trust shattered, and premium buyers left holding the bag. The next 12 months will decide everything for this brand. Have you been affected by these recalls? Do you think Ford can fix this, or is it time to switch brands? Drop your opinion in the comments right now. And if you enjoyed the content, smash that like button and subscribe to help us hit 100,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.